to all the people. All right, ready?
Okay. Yes.
Hey, welcome to another episode of the Blackout Tips podcast. I'm your host, Rod, joined as always by my co-host,
Karen.
and we are live on Wednesday.
Yep. The end of the week. Now I'm go ahead and say this. I don't know how many shows we're gonna do next week because Beyonce in town, so I don't know what y'all gonna get next week.
All right.
Y'all just let you know right now.
Okay. All right, everybody. You heard it here first. But for those of y'all that showed up today,
Thank you.
The first thing I gotta tell you is don't forget live show tickets. Link is in the show notes on every episode. It's on our social medias. We're trying to sell these tickets. If you can't make it live September the 9th at 3:00 in Charlotte, North Carolina at the Blumenthal Center for Performing Arts, you can also get virtual tickets. You can get them online. I know many of you watch this online in our chat room. You want to see this experience live, please do. It helps us out tremendously as a podcast.
Yes. We see y'all buying tickets, and thank you.
It helps us out tremendously as a podcast if you buy tickets, because these sales figures matter. Like, it's the thing that keeps the Blumenthal Performing Arts Center working with us. And also, we're going to have a good time. We already have some giveaways planned for the people that are going to be there in person. We got a sponsor that's going to like hook y'all up. And we can't wait for that. We're going to play games with y'all and prizes and stuff. It's going to be a great time. You're going to want to be there in person. I'm already seeing people saying they're coming on social media. People, some of the people we haven't seen in years. Some people, it's going to be their first time coming to a live show of ours. So thank you for those people. And like I said, the link is in the show notes for those tickets. It's on all our social medias. So check that stuff out. The official weapon of the show is and the unofficial sport. A bullet ball. Extreme. And let's go ahead and start getting into the show. Okay, there's lots of stuff to talk about. This is a bullshit Wednesday, guys. We're just gonna be talking about some bullshit. All right, let's talk about some bullshit. It's a leprosy outbreak that seems to be brewing in Florida.
Did you say leprosy like the Bible leprosy?
Yes. You're taking it back to the old days.
Child, don't nobody want that. This what happened when y'all be like, fuck a vaccination and vaccines and shit. You get leprosy.
Yeah, I just feel like this is part of the 7 plagues coming to Florida because of Ron DeSantis' evil ass. I just feel like next is a plague of locusts. Gonna hit them like the finale of Righteous Gemstones and shit. Just ridiculous, man.
Right? Them poor people down there, especially people didn't vote for that shit and didn't want that shit. They're like, the fuck I got to do with this?
Apparently, 81% of the new cases reported are located in Central Florida. How 81%? What? Is that right? That just like, is that like a colony of lepers?
I don't know. But all I know is I don't want it.
Yeah, well, stay out of Central Florida, I guess. I mean, typically when leprosy is seen in the U.S., it originates from countries known for the infection. Interestingly enough, 34% of patients to get the disease between 2015 and 2020 contracted the disease locally. Leprosy is then they just break down what it looked like. Most people are believed to be immune to the illness, but leprosy can take time to show up in patients. Therefore, early detection of symptoms can reduce the risk, blah, blah, blah. Florida. Oh, Florida.
Man.
All right. Cardi B threw that mic. The mic is now up for sale on eBay.
Oh, somebody got a hold of the mic.
The bids are starting at $500.
Yeah, somebody gonna pay good money for Cardi B mic.
But the mic's initial cost is $1,000. So it's definitely gonna sell for more than a 1,000, right? I mean, it's gonna sell for more than 500, right? That's a discount.
Yeah, right. Because a lot of times, depending on the performance, they don't be performing on no cheap ass mics.
Yeah. So it's interesting that they sold it right away. I'm like, isn't that gonna be evidence in the battery trial possibly?
Right. Somebody gonna have to get that up.
You're gonna have to, you have to come off that possibly.
Right.
When the state looks into it.
Right. The state gonna be like, oh yeah. By the way, that's ours now.
Yeah. So the police didn't name her in the battery thing, or didn't like pursue the charges. So I guess maybe the assumption is that they won't end up making this into a criminal thing. But
right.
I just find it interesting that we're not a serious world,
No, we're not. And also the thing is, and maybe it's just me being biased. Bitch, don't throw water on me. Like, I'm performing. Don't do that.
Okay, you say that, right? But then there's a video TMZ put out of her asking the crowd to throw water on her.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Right. I don't understand what the fuck happened. This is a legitimately confusing topic to me because to me, I saw a woman get water thrown on her and then throw a fucking mic at the person threw water on her. I said, okay. And when there's another angle from in the crowd, someone else with a phone turns the phone towards the person right before they get hit with the mic, and they go, "I'm sorry," to Cardi B before she throws the mic at her. I don't know the rules of what happened. I saw something that said she was upset that there was ice in that water or something, but at the same time, in that video clip, no one else was throwing water at that time. I don't know. I'm confused. And I don't know that I'm going to figure it out. Here's the clip.
Let's turn to a rough weekend for Cardi B. Absolutely. Yeah. So we know mid-performance over the weekend in Vegas. Yeah. Now in another video, it seemed that Cardi had been asking fans to throw water at her at one point in the performance, apparently because of the heat. Right. This is true. Now it seems that Cardi B is under investigation.
So, okay. So I guess they didn't show the actual clip. They're just telling us. But so at some point she did say throw water on me because it's hot out here. And then someone threw some water at the wrong time and got fucked up. I don't know.
I don't know. And the thing that's really crazy about this is like for not with Cardi B, but for other people were throwing shit that actually hurt them, like phones and shit like that really fucked them up. So I'm like, you should actually throw anything up there on the stage at any time.
Right.
But period.
That's what we talk about here on Bullshit Wednesday.
Waka.
We're just out here bullshitting. We don't know what's happening.
We don't know, y'all. We actually don't know. We don't know what's the truth, what's not the truth.
I'm confused by all of this stuff.
Right. All I know is don't throw no water at me while I'm on stage.
Apparently so. We also, in more Bullshit Wednesday news, Lizzo is getting sued by some former dancers of hers. And everybody's now jumping ship. I've decided Lizzo did these things and it's her fault. I read the article. I know I'm the only one, but I like to read the articles before I, just go in with the commentary.
Okay.
I saw a lot of people didn't. You could tell from their commentary, but it's a lawsuit that accuses her of some stuff, but it also accuses her, like, head of her dancing people of a lot of stuff. And then the headline kind of conflates it into like Lizzo was doing all this shit, which I think,
right. That's two different things.
The other thing I read too that I noticed, because I was talking about this in the group chat, I was like, nobody's talking about it, but the article was really just the lawsuit written into an article. Like they didn't
actually write an article.
Yeah, like they didn't actually interview anybody or talk to any sources or go behind the scenes at the time. Now since other people have started talking, but at the time it was just, this is what the lawsuit said. Have you ever seen somebody
just say that? Don't act like you writing actually a real journalistic article then.
This is what people do. It happens all the time. I think when it's not somebody you like, it's okay. When it's somebody you like, well, why the fuck y'all didn't like contact them and get some more information? Or,
Right.
you know, how come you didn't verify with some other sources or da 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 da? But I think people, for those that like Lizzo, it feels like a hit piece because there isn't any. It's just a lawsuit, and a lawsuit is always going to give you the most salacious, unkind telling of the events.
Right.
From what I read, and I'm going to go into detail, but from what I read, I'm not sure these people even have a case. And I'm not trying to say that as in like
Right.
she ain't do nothing wrong, but just in the like, if you actually go to a court of law with like what's actionable, I think they're gonna have a hard time like winning. But I think this is just speculation on my part. But what I think happened is that they want to embarrass her because she's supposed to be a symbol of like the most nicest, happiest, understanding, positive person. That's her image as an artist. And anything that undermines that essentially assassinates her character. It would be something she wouldn't want to get out. So a couple of these dancers were fired and one of them resigned. And some of the stuff in the piece is speculative at best, like it's not a direct line, and then some of it is like stuff that I think the framing of it makes it sound like super dangerous, when the actual, like, if you have common sense and talk about how it would have unfolded, it doesn't sound so bad. I'll go into detail now.
Okay.
So one of the things that they were accusing her of was like weight shaming. Now, this seemed to come not from directly from Lizzo, but from her head of her dancing people, this woman named Charlene Quigley, and in this lawsuit is so weird because at once it was hypersexual, like we're going to strip clubs, we're hanging out as girls, as dancers, we're gonna have a good time tonight, we partying. But at the same time, it was like, but this leader of this dance, of this Charlene Quigley, was also supposed to be super religious, uptight, like, you know, type, like it was like a kind of a weird dynamic where they were kind of saying everything was happening at once. And not that those things can't be happening, but it was kind of like weird that it was like, it was weirdly religious, but also extremely pressuring you to be extremely sexual at the same time. So in the suit, the trio accused the Grammy winner of inviting them to take turns touching nude performers at a strip club in Amsterdam and encouraging them to catch dildos launched from performers' vaginas. Once again, think about how that sounds. Right. It sounds like if in the lawsuit, it sounds like they dragged these people in their handcuffs, made them go to the strip club, and then sat there and said, shoot dildos at them and shit. And then when they went into the description about it, one of the things was them being like, girl, like, oh, touch her titties, da da da, and then everyone was chanting like funny, like it was funny, like you know, like touch them titties, or whatever. I can see an environment where that's just funny. And then the thing becomes, and I think this is where the lawsuit is gonna fall apart. A lot of people are gonna be like, why the fuck you go to the strip club? Because what they say is, well, we weren't mandated to go to the strip club, but we felt like we had to in order to gain her favor. They gonna throw that out.
Yeah, they are.
You know what I'm saying? And even the way they're being like, she tried to coerce us to eat bananas out of people's vaginas, is gonna turn into, well, you didn't have to. Why would you do that? Like, did she say, do this or you're fired? Like, the things that make it actionable aren't in the lawsuit that I saw. And then the kind of things, like even the thing about weight shaming was, this woman had gained some weight, and someone told her, I think secondhand, was like, Lizzo doesn't think you're as committed to the tour as you need to be. And she took that as, oh, they're telling me to lose weight. Once again,
that's secondhand, and how do you know Lizzo actually said that? If
in a court of law or whatever, the trial,
right,
Lizzo's people are probably gonna be like, it didn't have nothing to do with her weight, she just was blank or whatever. there's times Lizzo went on rants and got angry about stuff. Like she accused the dancers of drinking. They had a bad like rehearsal. She got so mad they ended up doing like a long rehearsal the next day for like 12 hours, according to the lawsuit. Once again, we don't know the other side of this. But even in that, you're not going to find people. One, you're not going to find people in the entertainment industry that's going to even blink at that kind of shit, because that kind of shit happens too often and it's fucked up.
Yes, it is.
But I think that the pressure on the lawsuit is we're embarrassing Lizzo. Lizzo's supposed to be better than this. If you found out that same thing, Beyonce had a whole documentary about how hard they worked in that for the Coachella.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, all we doing is 12-hour days, and we just were like, that's because she a hard worker, and we expect our dancers to be hard working. But it's Lizzo. She's fat. She's supposed to be nice. She's not supposed to get upset with the dancers ever. She's not supposed to question anybody's commitment. And even though they can't prove she said or did anything about anyone's weight in this whole lawsuit, just the implication of it is supposed to be damaging enough that I truly do believe the goal of this was to shame her into being like, just here's a settlement, go away.
Yep.
I can't wait to see how it plays out in court, because this is all just speculation at this point for me. But just reading it, I was like, yeah, I can kind of see how they don't necessarily have an actual like written out case, but they do have enough to shame this woman into being like, please go away. But also people have found like clips of her like rapping about getting rid of some dancers and shit, which I thought was so funny.
That's hilarious.
Because I was like, I don't doubt that it happened. That that she got rid of these dancers for whatever she perceives to be a good reason.
Yeah,
but
we've actually seen performances of like Prince and like other people singing on stage about people literally getting fired on the spot because they didn't do
Michael
their job.
Jackson,
right?
I remember that too. That was funny. But yeah, I'm not putting it past that. I don't know these people, and she could have maliciously did all the things they're accusing her of, and really just secretly be a terrible person the whole time. Whenever I read any of this stuff, and even for the people I don't like, the celebrities that I don't consume their work and shit, even for them, I try to find like, okay, what's most likely to have happened,
right?
And I feel like we go through that on the show a lot, and I try not to just jump to the outrage. I think most people are kind of simple and easily manipulated, and I think at this point we haven't learned shit. Like, we jump at I saw people who literally only read the headline being like, oh my God, Lizzo, see, I knew it was about time, and they was partying, because I think low-key a lot of people have wanted to dislike her for a while, right? Because she's popular, always in the center of like some type of thing, even when it's not necessarily her doing. And so I think people have kind of been tired of that, and so it's kind of like time for something to happen so they can throw her in there. Then of course you got the Stan war culture shit, so I've seen like people with Nicki Minaj avatars and Doja Cat avatars, people were bringing up Azalea Banks clips about her not liking Lizzo, fat shaming her and all this shit, which supposedly everybody's against that, but not yesterday. It was time to call her fat and all this shit, and say she needs to play her flute.
Which is what they've been doing anyway.
Yeah, so it was like a lot of interesting stuff happening at the same time, around the Lizzo thing. But yeah, I don't know. Like, unless there's gonna be like something criminal that comes out, I don't know that this is gonna be like a situation where she loses this case. I think she just lost her reputation to everybody, because a lot of people have been holding her up as like a beacon of feminism and body positivity and a positive attitude, and to see how the sausage is made behind the scenes, that it ain't, like, it take work, and it's not clean and pretty when you work with other people and work on all that dance and shit, and that culture itself in entertainment is kind of toxic. I think people kind of, are gonna hold her to a higher standard than they would other artists, and she's gonna end up paying for that.
Yeah, and like I said, and I guess for me, I'm old. The way I consume shit, I'm like, okay, the truth will come out. Like, I'm really simple with it. The truth will come out. Let this go to court. Let all this shit come out, you know, with what's the truth and what's not the truth. And when I like something and I consume something, I don't put you on a pedestal and I don't hold you up to this high standard. You're an entertainer. Your whole job is to not try funny, is to entertain me.
Mhm.
Nothing more, nothing less. You can it doesn't mean I co-sign everything you do. It don't mean that everything you say I agree with. You know, I don't get in that culture. You know, something happened. I might feel a certain way. Don't get me wrong, but you know, I think for a lot of people, they love the highs and the lows of using celebrities as mascots, because for a lot of them, this is something that they've always wanted to do. They hadn't liked her, never have liked her for whatever reason, and this is just an excuse for everybody to come out and start dunking. Like you said, most people didn't read the article, didn't care about reading the article, I'm never going to read the article, don't really care what the truth is. All they was like, today is boring, I'm at work, what can I do? Lizzo's trending, let's talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, that's a big part of it too, but you know, also I just feel like this is kind of the way of the internet too, is if you accuse somebody of something, you know, we kind of just treat it as facts. And then you have to work your way out of it. And if we like you, that's the only time we present some level of nuance. You know, I think on our show, what I like about having this show is that we get to do that whether we like the person or not here. We get to be like, I can see this point of view. I can see it could have went down this way. And yeah, we can always wait to find out. When I read it, it mostly seemed like, one, they're going to end up firing that dance captain. I'm sorry. There's nowhere. Like,
you can't keep your job.
The stuff she was accused of is the worst stuff in the article. And it'll probably end up being like when an NBA team fires a coach. Mm-hmm. Where somebody it's not totally on them, but somebody gotta take it.
Yep, somebody got to take the L for the team, and it's you, child.
And apparently, this woman was like I saw her. She put out a video after the lawsuit article, and in this lawsuit, she's accused of being like super religious and weird towards the dancers, and like the video she put out there was very like religious-y. I was like, oh man, you gotta read the room.
Yeah, not you. Yeah, sometimes it's best just to it's hard to do when it's shit about you, but sometimes it's best to just be like, I'm not gonna say anything.
Yeah, they're bringing up that woman, Charlene Quigley's history, where in 2016 she had went missing, and amid some mental health concerns. So now that's part of the fair game, I guess, for us to talk about. You know, I don't know. You know, they found her. Obviously, she's back, and that was in 2016. But there's like a you know, she crazy, you know, type of thing that's happening. The thing I think is interesting about the strip club thing, and this is just my feelings in general, is not. I know a lot of people feel differently, but this is why I really don't mix this type of shit with work people, period. And it's one of the weird things about the creative industry. It's not like an office. They don't have an HR department.
Right.
And too often they mix like this weird level of friendship with professional relationships. And I understand that's just how it is. I know people that are actors, they be in plays and they talk about those blurred lines. One of the reasons I'm not attracted to that lane of work is because of that shit. I don't like that.
Right. We need rules and regulations.
Because I feel like something that, like, if me and Justin went out and I was like, Justin, you gonna eat that banana out of that woman pussy, ha ha ha, and he didn't do it, and I joked about him doing it and I picked on him for not doing it, we're still gonna be friends, and both of us are gonna walk out of that situation like, yeah, my friend was picking on me that night. Nigga, you're the boss.
Right.
Regardless of how y'all talk behind the stage, blah, blah, blah. You have the power to hire and fire people. You have to actually monitor people's work and decide if it's good or not. To me, I've never understood this shit. It always seems wild to me. And before we turn it into a Lizzo thing, it's all this shit.
Yep.
I remember the reports around Thor: Love and Thunder.
Yes, sir.
And it was talking about how Taika Waititi was like making out with the woman that plays Valkyrie.
Yeah, and Disney had to say stop that bullshit.
Yeah. But he was making out with Tessa Thompson, yeah. And also supposedly dating like another person that was involved with the film, or he has a famous girlfriend or something. And I kept thinking, like, this is a Marvel Disney film. This anything could go wrong. What if Tessa Thompson decides one day, actually, I felt pressured. That man is my director.
My boss.
I'm just an actor. He could have killed my character off. I was only placating him. Now, I'm not saying she was, but
right.
She could say that tomorrow, and you got a bunch of fucking jokes and articles about them making out and how funny and cool it is, when it could be something fucking dangerous. The entire fucking like entertainment industry is so fucking weird like that, and it's a thing I never understood and don't like about the shit.
I agree, because like I said, I like the structure. I like a HR. I like just the separation, and I'm like you. When I go to work, everybody is neutral. It's one of those things where they pay me to do my job. They don't pay me for these other shenanigans. And so if I want to do shenanigans, I do shenanigans with people outside of this working environment.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's going to be very interesting how this plays out, because I think the damage that was meant to be done is done. Mm-hmm. It's to
that
her,
was the whole purpose.
It's to her image, and they're probably in crisis mode now, trying to figure out what to do for this. But other people are coming forward. There was a woman who was Lizzo's former creative director, Quinn Whitney Wilson, and dancer Courtney Hollandquist claimed they experienced similar treatment. For clarification, I'm not part of the lawsuit, but this was very much my experience in my time there, Hollandquist wrote on her Instagram story Tuesday. Big shout out to the dancers who had the courage to bring this to light. Soon after, Wilson shared a screenshot of Hollandquist's statement on her own social media page, saying she was echoing everything that was already said.
Yeah, so it sounded like that person that is like was a problem.
The dance manager or whatever. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I think it's about Lizzo though. Right, she is the name, the marquee. Don't nobody know that woman, and the buck is gonna stop with you. Like, even if she fires this woman, her reputation is gonna take a huge hit for this.
Of course,
and it's mostly because of the kind of person they saw her as. Like I said, if this same thing happened with some other rapper or act, they'd be like, well, she's a diva. Or because she demands the best, but it's Lizzo. She's not supposed to be able to she's supposed to be better than that.
Right.
I haven't been a part of that world for around 3 years for a reason, Wilson wrote. I very much applaud the dancer's courage to bring this to light, and I agree parts of my own experience. I'd appreciate space to understand my feelings, she concluded. To which Hollandquist replied back, my sister forever, only a few know what we've been through, love you, Quinn. The two women's comments came shortly after the lawsuit came out. They accused Lizzo, along with the dance team captain Shirley Quigley, of creating a sexually charged and uncomfortable work environment. And like I said, it's going to be an interesting lawsuit, because sexually charged and then the uncomfortable is a lot of religious stuff. So it's like we was being forced to go to the strip clubs and also forced to pray. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to be an interesting lawsuit for that.
We were forced to get on our knees for more than one reason.
Right. And like I said, I can see how in the context of going to a strip club, some of this shit would seem harmless. It's typical strip club behavior. And especially when you didn't mandate anyone come and you thought we're just all going to strip club to have a good time. it would be akin to someone saying you forced me or pressure. It would be akin to someone saying you pressured me into taking a shot at a bar. Like they all were drinking shots and I said, I don't want to drink a shot. And you were like, shot. And then eventually I took the shot and now I'm suing you. You know what I mean? Like it's akin to that when you're talking about a strip club. We're going to a strip club. It's like, don't touch that titty. Because I'm sure, like, I think if I buy the way the suit and you read it in print makes it sound as like, you better touch her titties. Right. No, I don't want to, Lizzo. You better fucking do it or you're goddamn fired. I can't.
It didn't go down like that.
And I think that's how it's supposed to feel. Right. You know, it's a lawsuit. That's what they want to say. But my guess is that it was people doing shit that people do in strip clubs. And it's shit that I always thought was a little weird. You know, I'm not a strip club guy. It's not, you know, I just reckon it's why I don't go to the strip club. You know, if somebody hits me up like we should go, I'm like, that's not my thing. And you would think, and I would guess, when you get to an actual trial, if this goes to trial, you're going to end up with this shit getting thrown out because people going to be like, you were in a strip club. You weren't forced to do anything. People say, you know, take a shot, slap an ass, grab a titty. They do that shit all the time at the strip club. We don't think this woman was trying to pressure you into like sexually doing something in a criminal way. That's what I'm guessing is going to happen. Now, maybe something will change. But she said, Lizzo began inviting cast members to take turns touching the nude performers, catching dildos launched from performers' vaginas and eating bananas protruding from the performers' vaginas. Lizzo then turned her attention to Miss Davis and began pressuring Miss Davis to touch the breast of one of the nude women. Although she allegedly told the singer 3 separate times she did not want to touch the nude woman, Lizzo pressured and goaded her into complying. And that's when they all started chanting, like, take it off and all this shit. Afterwards, the Good As Hell singer allegedly badgered a member of her security team to get on stage, where she pulled down his pants and hit him with whips, yelling, take it off. Keep in mind, this guy's not suing or part of the suit. So, this, like I said, it feels like they're throwing everything at the wall because it's embarrassing. Yes. And when you write it and when you put it in this context, it just seems like oh my God, what was she doing? But if you're at a strip club having fun and shit, it's really not that wild. It's just, you're the boss. You really shouldn't be at the strip club with these motherfuckers, to be honest.
Not with your coworkers.
Plaintiffs were and also it's gonna hurt too because these are women of color that's suing her. So now you don't, like, if it was some white woman or something, people would probably be like more skeptical. But that is women of color suing it, and it's gonna be a lot of like, well, I'm standing with the women of color. Well, Lizzo and her dance coach is also a woman of color, but it's not gonna count. You know, they're not the ones filing the complaint, and they haven't said anything yet because they haven't gone to court or submitted anything yet.
With all of this, the truth will come out.
Plaintiffs were aghast at how little regard Lizzo showed for the bodily autonomy of her employees and those around her. This is straight from the lawsuit, especially in the presence of many people whom she employed. Elsewhere in the suit, the 3 women alleged that employees of the touring company treated the black members of the team differently than the other members. Only the dance cast, comprised of full-figured women of color, were ever spoken to in a manner giving the plaintiffs the impression that these comments were charged with racial and fat-phobic animus. Once again, can't prove it, but I think that'll get thrown out because it's going to be like the women I elevated to the highest position of dance, whatever, were all women of color that were like plus size because I believe in them, I support them, but it's also the fucking hard job, and I'm gonna be as hard as them as I'm hard on myself. If we have a bad practice, then we got to stay there till we get it right. If it's 12 hours, it's 12 hours. That's the job. You're going to end up with people being like, yeah, how's that? So because y'all were the highest dancers with the highest qualifications to the strictest standards, that's fat phobic and racist? You're not going to be able to prove that. You can't prove that if she did that with 90-pound women if she made the 90-pound women the highest people on the fucking thing and held them to the strictest standards, they wouldn't be able to be like, well, it's because I'm skinny. They're not going to be able to prove it, but I I'll put it like this. I don't think the purpose of this is to prove it.
No, the purpose of this was never to prove it. The purpose for this was to tarnish your name. The purpose of of this, just in my opinion, like I said, the truth will come out. They're going to investigate. Like somebody's going to come out with something, and but the way the article was written and everything that's come out is just to shock. Like that, that's kind of the whole purpose.
Yeah, one of the things also is that one of them recorded like a meeting that it seems the lawsuit is purposely a little vague here, but it's like Lizzo got mad at someone for recording a meeting. And it sounds like from what Lizzo is saying, it like the way she got mad, like they weren't supposed to be recording the shit. But they're leaving that part out to be like, she just blew up for no fucking reason. All I was doing was recording the meeting, and she stopped the room and was like, who the fuck is recording? We gonna go person by person. And there's a fucking reason, obviously, with these NDAs and all this shit behind the scenes that they don't want people recording these fucking meetings. Because you can take something out of context and make someone look bad. You can be not doing your job, get cussed out, just put the video of you getting cussed out and be like, look at this bitch. Can't believe she talked to me like that. Like it's a very controlled environment. We laugh about how harsh Beyonce's NDA game is. We laugh about it. But because we know like shit can get out and it will fuck your whole career up off of one moment and all that shit. But in the lawsuit, it's like, she bullied me. All I did was record the meeting. Like, it's a lawsuit. It's presented as their side. I would love to see, and I can't wait to hear the other side of this, if there's an other side.
Agreed.
But it has also made me laugh, some of these things. I'm not gonna lie. They said, at one point, she approaches Miss Rodriguez, cracking her knuckles, balling her fists and exclaiming, "You're lucky. You're so fucking lucky." Miss Rodriguez feared that Lizzo intended to hit her and would have done so if one of the other dancers had not intervened. And this is because she recorded the thing she wasn't supposed to record. As Lizzo left the room, she raised both middle fingers and yelled, "Bye, bitch." That made me laugh.
That's funny.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. I want to see. I think this will have staying power because of who she is.
All right.
I really think if this was like Cardi, we'd be like, nigga, don't record Cardi B. You're going to get a mic thrown at your head. But Lizzo just not supposed to be like that.
Right.
So I think she's about to catch some PR hell for a bit.
Mm-hmm. It kind of reminds me of the same thing with Ellen. Like the whole purpose was to tarnish her reputation. And that's so funny, and it worked. And then the same people was like, well, no, we ain't expect to lose our jobs. Well, the purpose was to tarnish her reputation. You're actually working for her. She is not trying to funny. She is the brand of it, not trying to be funny. So you can't tarnish your own brand and then...
Well, they don't work there anymore, these people.
Right. Mm-hmm.
What'll be interesting is, because I think due diligence, someone is Rolling Stone, someone with some resources.
Oh, yeah.
Someone is going to start talking to the dancers that are on the tour now, anonymously probably.
Right.
And that's when we'll get the real shit. Like, if it really is like that over there,
yeah, like I said,
you're going to get the people coming out on the low and like, we can't tell you, but we talked to 20 sources or whatever. Because, right now it's like, is this just a disgruntled kind of pressuring of her to settle and give these people some money in some type of civil court situation? Or is it just like she really is just a piece of shit behind the scenes to everybody? And it really is like a dangerous, toxic environment. And it's not just a youthful, we went to the strip club misunderstanding, and that she does know about how abusive, quote unquote, her head dancer coach is. Like if that is true and other people that work there start coming out being like, yeah, I don't want to put my name on it, but yeah, I think it could be over for her. Really, real talk. Not over like she'll never exist again, but like over for her in a lot of ways that make her Lizzo. Because so much about what she is, her reputation is and her her brand is the opposite of this. It just is. Her brand. I'm not saying her brand isn't sexy and sexual and stuff, but her brand
that's
is
what she's selling you.
She would treat people better than this.
Mm-hmm.
Her music is that you special, you different, you're great. All women are perfect. Don't worry, but and if anyone says like, yes, because people got fat and she fired them, which, like I said, once again, reading the thing, it didn't prove that. But let's say some other dancers come out and be like, listen, it really is like that, or, I just think there's a way that this sticks with her, and we'll see,
Mm-hmm.
Apparently she had a interview with 3FM's DJ Frank Vanderland in 2019, where she shared some details about her experience in the red light district of Amsterdam. She said, it was people fucking, man. It was crazy. But you know what? It was beautiful. She's talked about seeing a sex show where a couple were passionately making love and kissing. However, she admitted about something else. She said, but I'm trying to go to a show where you eat the banana out the pussy. Which one is that? It's the banana bar, he said, to which she replied, oh, that's the banana bar. And they have the banana in the coochie, and you have to go. And she made a biting sound. I need my potassium, if you know what I'm saying, my puss-tassium.
That's funny.
Well, now she gone. That's Exhibit A. Okay. So she was making everybody get the puss-tassium.
Apparently so.
It's over. But yeah, her former documentary director bashed Lizzo. Said she's arrogant, self-centered, and unkind. Which documentary was this? I guess maybe Watch Out for the Big Girls, man.
I don't know. You know what I mean?
I've never seen this documentary.
Me either.
But yeah, she came out. Her name is Sophia Nahi Allison. On Tuesday, she tweeted she wanted to speak up against Lizzo. Validating other Black women's experiences is deeply important to her. And she referenced, About Damn Time. She referenced the 3 backup dancers who sued the About Damn Time singer for sexual harassment, creating a hostile work environment, discrimination, and other claims. She started by sharing a photo of herself holding up a large camera during the concert, explaining she traveled a bit with Lizzo in 2019. To be the director of her documentary. I walked away after about 2 weeks. I was treated with such disrespect by her. I witnessed how arrogant, self-centered, and unkind she is. I was not protected and was thrown into a shitty situation with a little support. My spirit said to run as fast as you fucking can, and also grateful I trusted my gut. I felt gaslit and was deeply hurt, but I've healed. Reading these reports made me realize how dangerous of a situation it was. This kind of abuse of power happens far too often. Much love and support to the dancers. She didn't say exactly what it was, I guess. To be clear, since I've spoken out, I've had others privately share very similar concerns, and I've also been affirmed by people who witnessed what I went through. Lizzo creates an extremely toxic and hostile work environment, undermines the work, labor, and authority of other Black and brown women in the process. Notice how the documentary ended up being directed by a cis white man. She is a narcissistic bully and has built her brand off of lies. I was excited to support and protect Black women through the documentary process, but quickly learned her image and message was a curated facade. I stand with the dancer and anyone who has similar experiences working with her and her team. Those working conditions are not okay. So I guess she's not going to detail what happened, but all right, she said it was bad for her too. This might be it for Lizzo, dog. Might be it. She gonna have to pull out the mental health card. Be like, I was going through some things too, everybody. We all going through things. It's the one way out, Karen. That's the way it works.
That's the one way out.
You can't get out of this clean. Somebody's gonna have to out victim the other people. That's how Black Twitter's done it in the past, in the court of public opinion. And
the court of public opinion, not the court of law. Take that shit to trial, bitch.
It's the only way. I've seen it work. So, but yeah, man, Lizzo. Who knew? Who fucking knew? I love the people that's like, I never liked her for no good reason, but now,
duh, why are you here?
Like they've been waiting. They've been waiting.
They have. I truly believe that.
let's talk about some other bullshit on this bullshit Wednesday. We just out here bullshitting everybody. You know how it is. Trying to do some bullshit. Bullshit alarm going off. Ron DeSantis. Speaking of bullshit, I called it yesterday when I said Ron DeSantis will not take advantage of this shit with Trump. Because Donald Trump is going to get indicted, but Ron DeSantis has been on the government is overreaching train the whole fucking time. So here's an updated statement from him when asked about it.
But one of the things I mentioned in that statement I think is important to point out. You know, the reality is a Republican, a DC jury would indict a ham sandwich and convict a ham sandwich if it was a Republican ham sandwich. I think Americans need to be able to remove cases out of DC. I think the juries are stacked. I think that they're going to want to convict people that they did.
Move the case out of the place where you fucking did it. No, DC is the place where you tried to overthrow the fucking country. This man has the riz of a fucking unbaked potato. Just a fucking plain potato. He can't be president. And it's like all those people over there are fighting to be Donald Trump's vice president or number 2, or hoping he goes to jail somehow. Like, no one over there is serious about being president because Republicans are not serious about governing.
They're not.
So it's like it's because to me, and maybe, you know, I get that they're afraid to lose the MAGA vote or whatever the fuck, but to me, the road to that nomination seems to clearly be one of, man, fuck Donald Trump.
Yes.
To me. And I know you think it's just because I'm biased and I feel like fuck Donald Trump, but I'm saying this, like, if I was objectively just somebody's fucking campaign manager for the GOP people, I'd be like, you're not going to be able to cover for him and beat him in the polls.
Nope. And you're not going to be able to out-Trump him.
If you're going to make him a victim, then you're just making him sympathetic. And if you agree with his victimhood, that's the one fucking wedge you have over him. You're supposed to be a better bigot that won't get the personal problems and criminality of this bigot.
Right.
Put me in the White House. We'll keep the bigotry train going, and you don't have to worry about me fucking it up by doing a bunch of illegal shit that's gonna end up getting me thrown in jail or causing like, we're gonna smoothly take away everyone's rights. I thought that was the appeal of a Ron DeSantis. Like, I'm just a better bigot. Like, you know what I mean?
The personality of paint. Ain't nobody trying to vote for him.
I know, but I thought that was the point. I have the personality of paint, meaning you won't see about me fucking a porn star. You don't have to worry about me being accused of sexual assault. You don't have to worry. You see what I'm saying? Like, the financial malfeasance that follows this man around. You don't have to worry about that with me. I'm Mr. Salt and pepper to taste. But I still hate all the people y'all hate. This man tripled down on bigotry in his state. You wasted time.
Yes, he did.
And to me, like, I know people will be like, that's because he is a bigot. I hear y'all, but I think he tripled down, and it's worse because I don't think he really gives a fuck one way or the other. I think he's like, oh, those MAGA people, those Trump people love the bigotry of Trump. I'm going to do that here.
Yep.
I'm taking away black people's rights. I'm going to take away gay people's rights. I'm not protecting these trans kids. I'm putting them in danger. And it's not working. You're still getting your ass kicked by Trump. So Trump throws an alley-oop to you, and you say, I ain't ducking it. I'm going to say, the Democrats and the DC jury, da-da-da-da. What? What a dummy. What a cuck.
Disagree with, or at a minimum, you should be able to draw a jury pool from across the entire country. That is really what's at stake in terms of, do we have a single standard of justice, or do we have a track of justice where if you're connected to the swamp, you get off, whether it's Hunter Biden, whether it was the guy Durham tried to prosecute.
Trying to throw the Hunter Biden shit out there. What a cuck.
They're just going for everything. And most of the time, wherever the crime is committed, most of the time is where they do like, this is nothing new. And they're not going to be like what happened in DC. Let's pick people from all across the country. The fuck? That's stupid.
Right. But anyway, I called this.
Rob is right. Yep, right. That's right. Right. That's right. Right. That's right. Yep, right. That's right. Yeah, right. That's right. Ooh, what was that again? Oh yeah, right. That's right. Right was right.
Oh, meatball Ron, dumbass. See what else is going on. How many emails do you think we're gonna get about the Lizzo thing with people thinking that I said it's okay for her to do all that stuff?
Oh, you'll get several of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mandy, don't do it.
People not even listening to it.
Don't do it.
Nothing you said. They stopped it and typed and sent it in and might not listen to the rest. We done made them mad. They was like, nope.
They're gonna just read the headline like the article.
Mm-hmm.
Just tell me.
I got something to say. I ain't even listened to the podcast, but this is what I got to say about what y'all say. And it's gonna be really, really, really super long.
It reminds me, this is the thing that I was trying to get across, and I think we did a good job and people did a good job listening. We didn't get a bunch of feedback that was all fucked up. But it's the thing I was getting across with Jonah Hill. It's not enough to me to simply be like, this person was accused of something. Let's run and do the bidding of the person that accused the person of something.
Right.
Let's go and just run like a mob to with the pitchforks for this person. I think it is important to be like, okay, but what's your reasoning? You know what I mean? Like, but why? Because I think if you can't answer why, that's pretty fucking important. So I think it's okay to ask why, and people should stop to do that shit, you know? But Method Man. Let's get back to more of this bullshit on a bullshit Wednesday.
What about Method Man?
Well, we just bullshitting on a bullshit Wednesday. You know how it is.
Okay.
Method Man opens up about his battle with depression. Says he's not a sex symbol. Now he definitely depressed then. Because I think
that's a shocker to a lot of people.
Yeah.
The older he got, the farther that man got.
Yeah, it was in Men's Health. He talked about battling depression. He said, I was just being irresponsible with many things coming back to bite me all at once. I wasn't taking care of my finances in a proper fashion. The admiration wasn't the same. I didn't think it would bother me that much, but it did. People's opinions. I was just angry. It went with this from this childhood joy to this euphoric feeling of celebrity to feeling inadequate and not good enough. That's where the depression and stuff came in. He said to Men's Health. He's 52 now. I didn't even know I had been depressed as I was a youngster before I started doing music and moved to Staten Island. A lot of PTSD I never dealt with before started resurfacing. But I didn't know what it was then. In hindsight, you delve deeper into your psyche and see where certain things come from. I just wasn't a happy person. It reached a point where misery was loving company and the people around me were just as miserable, so it kind of fits. Then I got tired of it and did not want to be around miserable people anymore. I just wanted to see light. I wanted everything light. Forget the darkness. What can I create for myself? It had nothing to do with finances. It had nothing to do with other people. It was just me. What can I control? That's what I did. I took control after that. I stopped valuing other people's opinions. Instead of my biggest critic, I became my biggest fan. He said he was living an unhealthy lifestyle. Wake up, smoke, hit the streets, regular shit, whatever the day called for that day. One thing they don't do during your promo is give you time to do shit like activities for the gym and stuff like that. Now they shuttle you from one place to the next. You get fast food all day. But we were young, so metabolism helped, and none of that stuff stuck, he said. He said Ghostface Killer was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes during the time where African Americans were more than twice as likely to have it compared to their white counterparts. He said that was an awakening for him. And then as for being a sex symbol, he says, I'm not a sex symbol. That's the whole fucking point, man. Put the words together. Sex and symbol. What's the symbol? I'm not doing anything, so what's the symbol?
You ain't got to do anything to be sexy to people.
I think also like men, because of just patriarchy, men don't get to opt out of being a sex symbol. It reminds me of when the nigga from Game of Thrones that played Jon Snow was talking about how he felt fucking uncomfortable about everybody always like sexualizing him and shit. And all the sex positive people, all the bodily autonomy people turned into Lizzo and was like, man, you gonna eat this Puss tasium and shut the fuck up.
They was like, you gonna deal with this.
Women are savage, man. They be like, we are fucking sexualizing you. Shut the fuck up. It's a favor. It's like, I don't feel comfortable. It's giving me PTSD. I don't give a fuck. You a man and you will take this sexualization, You know, you can look at every morning show. It's just, let me touch your muscles, Anthony Mackie, or whatever the fuck. It's a savage fucking thing.
Yeah.
It couldn't work the other way.
No, it could not. And also, it's just one of those things where women are like, we are tired of everything about us being sexualized. Like, bitch, it's your turn. Is it fair? Is it right? Is it just? Is it wrong? Yes.
I just know the rules. I'm not saying they right or wrong. I'm just talking about how I watched it play out.
Mm-hmm.
All the woke people don't listen. This is the thing for me that makes life livable. I know all these people full of shit.
Mm-hmm.
I count myself amongst the people.
Yes.
There's all kinds of times where your shit just don't line up with whatever the fucking values you promote.
No.
And I'm not saying you get to be like a terrible person, but it's just shit that's incongruent. You know, where it's like, for example, in this case, people talk all that body positivity and stop sexualizing, fetishizing people. Now that Method Man has expressed this, you gonna watch them people cute. They gonna ignore the fuck out of this. They gonna keep and be this shit and be just like, listen, we said the nigga sexy, and if I see a picture of him of whatever, I'm gonna just be skeeting and quote tweeting him and adding his mentions and shit. I don't give a fuck that he said he don't like that, or that he don't see it that way, or he don't want to be talked about that way. I don't give a fuck about that. I am in it for me, and that's the truth.
Yes.
You know, it's all that shit is funny to me. You know, it's the people that, you know, talk about how gross it is when there's an age gap between like celebrities that are dating, but at the same time, if motherfuckers are grown and a 25-year-old woman wants to fuck one of the richest, most famous, handsome men on the planet, and she don't give a fuck, I don't know what to tell you. Everyone's a kind of a hypocrite.
Don't know what to tell you.
She might be 50 one day and think that's bullshit and that people shouldn't do that. But when she was 25, she felt differently. Like, it's just, everybody's full of shit. Anyway, speaking of everybody being full of shit, Bed Bath & Beyond makes comeback as exclusive online home furnishing brand. I knew they was full of shit. I knew it. Just why them sales never quite got to sale prices.
Y'all was like, y'all ain't serious. Y'all ain't trying to give this shit away. What the fuck we talking about? Why is this shit still $110? Get out my face.
Right. Mm-hmm. After closing its physical stores following bankruptcy, they reemerged as an online brand under a new owner, Overstock.com.
Oh, so Overstock.com bought them?
I don't know if they bought them, but Overstock.com CEO Jonathan Johnson said the company will redirect its visitors to Bed Bath & Beyond, which offers a variety of da-da-da. So I guess...
So the shit that y'all never marked down, y'all just gonna hold them in the warehouse and keep the prices the same?
Yeah, and they did buy them. They bought them for $21.5 million in June. Woo! Through a bankruptcy auction. That's not that much money, it don't sound like. That's the only sale that happened.
Right? They the one that got the 70 to 80% off.
Let's see. Carlee Russell hoax. Apparently the fallout now, and there's an Alabama lawmaker that wants to make it a felony to fake an abduction. I know I'm probably biased because it's a black woman, but do we need a fucking law, man?
No, we don't.
Is this happening often enough?
No, it's not.
It wouldn't even affect her because it's not a law that fucking was existing on the books when she did this.
Right.
She probably should just get fined. It's embarrassing.
Yeah,
she did cost a bunch of people resources. I get it. I'm not trying to be like a Pollyanna and act like it's no fucking big deal at all.
Right.
But I just think, why are we so fucking punitive, man? Like, why is that the reaction? This wasn't even like, you know, there was some racism or something, like when the white woman was like, the Mexicans did it. Like, it's just stupid what she did. Yeah, there's probably some mental trauma that happened somewhere that we're not privy to. Doesn't mean she can't be an asshole or whatever, but it's whatever the answer is probably not, well, if I would have known it was a felony, I wouldn't have did it. People aren't thinking like that.
Nope.
You know, most of the punitive shit doesn't really deter crime.
And they've done studies and statistics that can constantly say that. We don't give a fuck here.
This is to make us feel better.
Right.
It's to make us feel better. It's State Senator April Weaver, a Republican, basically said she she wants this to get revenge. Individuals who concoct and carry out sham kidnappings and lead our law enforcement officers on wild goose chases must be given severe penalties for their deceptive actions.
And my thing is this: are you going to apply them to all the white women that tell these stories and waste time, or is this only going to be applied to black and brown and the niggas? Get the fuck out my face! Like if some white woman do this, because they've been known to do it more than any other group. A lot of times when they come out here talking about this imaginary person did it, are we going to be throw the book at them bitches? Or are we going to be like, nah, you an exception to the fucking rule?
Here's the other reason I think this is dangerous. Like, this isn't just stupid. I think this is dangerous. It's kind of like the laws we have about punishing people for fake sexual assault claims. Now, for most of us, there's a belief when we hear about a fake sexual assault claim, there's a very salacious, like, oh, it's all made up. It's this person's fault, whatever, matter of fact, let me look this up. Mm-hmm. There's a Netflix documentary I watched a couple months ago, and it talks about these cases. And unlike us just sitting around and talking generally in terms that, pigeonhole it, they went and talked to the people who were being accused of making false accusations in sexual assault cases. People that had the book thrown at them by the police for doing this, right? And it was such an important and good documentary because at the end of the day, a lot of these people were essentially being it was like, because they would either say the police would victim/suspect is the name of it. Victim/suspect. So basically they went and found the actual high profile cases, and they went into detail with these women. Because some of them had even gone to jail, been penalized, had their reputations thrown into the fucking trash. And then when you actually go and talk to them about what happened, and they'll to this day be like, no, I was sexually assaulted.
Right.
And you would think like, well, I mean, you got convicted of faking that. So are you just in denial? You're just lying? And then they go into detail and you see like the police are taking people that have just gone through trauma, treating them like a suspect before they even fucking like can do the first report. And they're looking to discredit the person from jump. And they show you the fucking interviews that the police conducted. Like, it's on tape. And you can see how they're basically trying to set the person up into it's a lie. And so once you confront, especially these young women that have just been traumatized with this, sometimes they get scared and they back off like, well, look, I didn't lie. Because they'll be like, we know you lying. Okay, we got a camera. And for the record, some of the times the police were lying. Now, police are allowed to lie, typically in the pursuit of getting a suspect to confess. These are the people that filed the police report.
Right. And I remember you telling me this, and this is the shit that scares you as a victim. And this is the shit where you go, okay, if I get sexually assaulted, now I got to go get a lawyer before I even file my police report and have my lawyer, speak to my motherfucking lawyer. You're not going to drag me through the mud. I said. That's the thing, though. You wouldn't think you need a lawyer to file a police report. Right. Think about the logic of it.
But this shit could happen to any. This is
right. That's fucking scary.
This would never happen with like a robber. If I said my house was robbed, the police do not immediately seize on me like, how do we prove you're lying and your house wasn't robbed? No, they go the assumption is you wouldn't have reported this if a robbery didn't take place. It is now our job to help you get your stuff back, to find who did this, who was responsible. These police in these interviews were approaching it like, bitches be lying. Yeah, I doubt it. Yeah, right. And so they immediately started attacking your point of view and all this stuff, right? And there's several different examples. And one example, it was like they went and found the dude who she accused of sexual assault, and they talked to him like he was their friend. Like he had a prominent family, but it was like, yeah, so she probably came over and y'all consensually had sex and she was fine with it. She probably just regretted it later, right? And the guy's like, yeah, that's what happened. And I do have a lawyer, and no, you can't talk to me or come in my house and blah, blah, blah. And they're like, all right, well, we don't need to do all that anyway. We'll just go back and talk to, and then you see the next interview with them being like, yeah, so you did have sex with him and you lied, right? And she starts crying and shit because
right, it's fucking traumatizing.
the person that's supposed to protect you and go try to help you get justice is telling you to your face, I don't believe you. Matter of fact, I believe you're the person you're accusing, and you did that shit. And so you would see them fold and just, honest to God, it's like they want the interview to be over.
Right.
And so now in this interview, it's, I'm sorry. Like one of them didn't say she lied. She just kept saying, I'm sorry, over and over and crying. And you can see the trauma of it being like, I'm sorry that like I even fucking talked to you.
Correct.
I'm sorry
I
even thought I
shit.
And then what's crazy, before there's any trial, before there's any whatever, those police departments putting on Facebook her mugshot. Stuff like that. Like she lied about being, yes, but in the newspaper, she lied. Newspapers take police word for it. Now it's funny how we can see it whenever it's like a black person talking about the police or a police involved shooting. We can see it, right? We're like, oh no, police be lying. They be fuck. But when it's something like this, we like, good, they caught a lying woman who said she got sexually assaulted, and obviously this man's innocent. That was just one case. There was another case where there was a guy they knew in the area, had been in trouble before for pretending to be a police officer. And this girl was driving home, and she said this guy pulled her over like he was a police officer and like groped her, and then she got back in the, like, then drove off. She got back in the car and went to the police and told them. And I think she went home, and then her people told her to go to the police or whatever. They took a door cam from a house on that road and was like, well, we don't see no footage of another car. Now it's not from the area where she was stopped, where she said she was stopped. They have footage of like her car driving, and then they don't have like the camera never, because these cameras don't record everything, they just record, they get motion, so it never picked up on the motion of another car that night or in that time frame. And so they're like, you lied, you made the whole thing up. I think she was the one that just said, I'm sorry, and they were like, yep, we're gonna charge you for lying to the police and falsely, They had a dude in the area who had done the fake police thing before. They, like, everything she described, he fit the description, and they were like, no, bitch is lying. So all that stuff to say, if you pass punitive laws like everyone who falsely accused somebody of rape, we're throwing a book at them, what happens is rape is hard to prove.
Right.
So now people that simply cannot prove it, or simply the police decide to doubt them or whatever, they're now having a book thrown at them. I think this could happen the same way. What if a woman is being abused at home, and then she leaves? She pretends she got a whatever. She fakes her own disappearance. And then we go, well, according to the law, you faked a kidnapping, or you faked your disappearance. We're throwing the fucking book at you. Okay, well, you were trying to leave an abusive situation. We didn't anticipate that when we came up with this law. We were trying to get the next Carlee.
Right.
But there ain't going to be a lot of Carlees.
Mm-mm.
There's going to be a lot of people running away from home. That kind of shit. That might be trying to get out of a bad situation. That's the person that you worry about when you pass a broad sweeping reactionary law like this. And of course it's some Republican bullshit. Of course.
Yeah, because they actually do not care. They don't care about the constituents. They don't care. And the whole thing is punishment, because the thing is, the way our system is designed, particularly here in our country, our population is small compared to other parts of the world, but we lock a whole hell of a higher percentage of our population up than any other country in the world, just about. Because, in our mind, we're like, punish them all, everybody go to jail, and it's one of those things where it's sad, but it's kind of one of those things where I even admit it's quote unquote the American way. and that's sad, because we've been kind of bred and raised in this culture of punishment, not only punishment to the fact that we're going to punish you. We're going to take away your rights. We're going to strip you of everything. We're going to treat you inhumane. That's why when people get upset about, going to jail, I was like, well, for some of them people, I was like, well, bitch, you're the one that actually wanted people to go to jail, to throw away the key and be treated like animals, but you never thought you were going to be there. Now, since you're in there, all of a sudden you think that the rules should be different for you.
Yeah, and I can't prove it's a racial thing, but I don't know, man. The response feels like,
yep,
we've seen white women do this shit and we didn't rewrite the criminal code. I'm just saying, I can't prove it.
Right.
I'm like one of Lizzo's dancers. I can't prove that it's racist, but it feels racist.
It feels racist.
So,
because as many times this has happened before, where a random woman claimed some imaginary person done something to her. You spend money and investigate. They charge people and things like that, but you don't. It's not a federal crime.
This is an extreme case where it's very unmurky. It's very clear that she lied, and I think the other thing that people don't think about when you do this, if someone makes that brief mistake, and you're like, well, now we're holding this felony over your head, you're incentivizing them to keep that lie going
to the day they die.
You're incentivizing them to not come home and to not confess and to not like apologize and pay the fine and accept responsibility. You're encouraging them to keep going, because why the fuck would they want to go to prison for some shit that probably was just a bad decision they made? And it's just the way we criminalize shit in America. We see everything as just a fucking go to jail thing. And I'm not anti-criminalizing shit. I'm not anti-prison or any of that shit that the woke folks is about. I am still on some it's certain shit you got to go to jail, get the death penalty for that motherfucker that shot up the synagogue. I am definitely one of them people.
Yeah, and it's levels to it, right?
It can't be the answer for everything.
No, it cannot be.
You can't sledgehammer your solution to everything, especially when it don't work. This ain't we need to get some get back situation. To me. I'm sure Mandy will write in and tell us how, this is terrible and she set black people back and she was probably listening to too much hip hop. But, for me, I don't feel that way.
No, I don't either.
All right. You know what? Let's get into another segment. Maybe get into something a little bit more uplifting here.
Okay. What on this bullshit Wednesday?
On this bullshitting Wednesday. Yeah, let's do some black capitalism.
Shout out to Will Smith. I hear y'all talking. Only thing I'm listening to. Every day we get into that paper. Woo! I hear the money talking, see you later. Every day we get into that paper. Woo! I hear the money talking, see you later. Don't think I forgot Harry Stubbs supposed to be on the $20 bill.
Oh wait, shit! Before we do this, Randolph just sent me this on Twitter. I was trying to find it earlier and I couldn't find it in my mentions. But remember I told you that Lizzo's dance captain had put a video out, and I was like, "Oh no, you getting fired because whatever happened, it can't be this." So I couldn't find the video, but here it is. This is the video she put out in response, or I guess maybe not in response, but I guess, I don't know. She put this out coincidentally, but this is after they said she attempted to convert dancers to Christianity and inappropriately simulated oral sex in front of them. So
what?
Once again, the lawsuit, I don't know what's gonna happen.
Me either. That's ridiculous.
She was like motherfucking Mother May I and the freak of the week.
Yes,
I don't know. But here's the video.
Hey everybody, I just want to get on here really quick and say God is so, so good. God loves you so, 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 so much. No matter what you're going through, even if you don't love him, he loves you. Glory to God. I just want to remind you that He is love. He is truth. He is the light. He is the first and the last. And all things work together for those that are called according to His purpose. And I just feel so blessed. I feel so thankful. I feel so full of joy. I had such an amazing time on tour with amazing people. And I'm so excited to be home, resting with my family and my dog after an amazing experience. And yeah, I just wanted to tell everyone that God loves you and I love you and glory to God. And I hope you're smiling and you feel joy no matter where you're at or what you're going through, because I'm telling you, God loves you. Bye.
Yeah, that's not gonna go over well.
I can't imagine. I can't imagine anyone thinking that was. Oh my God! What a bad idea! What a bad idea! I can't. Woo! Oh my goodness! Mm-mm-mm. So yeah, she came out and put that. I don't know how that would help. Really? You know,
So basically, it's coincidence. So this is literally your response to them, and that's not good.
I mean, they accusing you of trying to convert them to Christianity, and that was you thought it was a good time to put that video out?
Does that mean he's guilty?
I told you, I knew your dad for a long time. He did that shit. Guilty as fuck.
Oh girl, oh no.
Prison, honey.
Yeah, and not trying to find the way she sounds very fake.
It's-
Like that whole tone. I was like, that don't even sound like that's the real you.
It's an extreme, like I said, they brought up her mental health past and all this stuff, so I don't know if that's a thing that, I don't even know how you get into that in public, but it ain't good. That's terrible. That's terrible. She definitely going down for sure.
Oh yeah, you're gonna lose your job. I'm glad you.
I don't know if Lizzo going down with her, but she definitely going down.
Oh yeah, you gonna take this one for the team.
You can't be going on the IG with you gotta talk to some people or something first. You gotta call Lizzo. What we doing? What the PR team want me to say? You can't be out here like Jesus is good. Girl, they're accusing you of converting people to Christianity.
Like, girl, give me a statement. Have them type something up for me too.
I don't even want to know what her IG replies look like right now. Whew. Good grief, that's a bad idea.
Child,
all right,
no.
Now let's talk about some black capitalism we do support. Jay-Z's The Book of Hov exhibit leads to a spike in Brooklyn Public Library card signups.
Come on through, public library card signups.
Yeah, he had an exhibit called The Book of Hov to celebrate the life and times of the 24-time Grammy Award-winning artist and media mogul. It was at the Brooklyn Public Library, which I thought was so dope when I heard this idea. And it coincides with another thing I want to shout him out for in the Black Capitalism segment. Him and Robert Kraft, the New England Patriots owner, they launched a Books Unbanned initiative. Okay? Because we know Republicans are going around in these school boards and stuff
and
banning books that have to do with marginalized people's experiences.
Right.
Saying they make white kids feel bad.
Right.
So yeah, they said, nah, we want to unban these books. We're fighting against that shit. The American Library Association documented nearly 1,300 requests to ban books. Most bans were aimed at reading material focused on Black and LGBTQIA plus communities and religious minorities. But not only do they plan on reprinting and circulating previously banned books, they also plan to offer scholarships and grants to underserved students. Recipients will hopefully have their works turned into plays, audiobooks, movies, and more. They launched the Books Unbanned initiative at the Brooklyn Public Library during the Book of Hov exhibition.
I see Brooklyn Shoe Bay saying that's her library
That's
branch.
her library.
Come on, librarians, stand up. Woo, woo. Come on through, Dewey Decimal System.
The attendance at its central library was almost 5 times the average of the first week of the opening. It wasn't, and if that wasn't enough, nearly 4,000 people signed up for library cards at both Central and Marcy locations, where limited edition Jay-Z cards are currently being offered. They also say a number of items checked out for the week rose by 10%. So yeah, it got a surge in visitors. More than 39,000 people attended during the opening on Friday, July 14th, and Thursday, July 20th. And like I said, I remember it was somebody on Twitter. I don't remember, and it's probably for the best because I don't want to like shit on this one human being. But they tried to say why this was like some type of bad thing that Jay-Z did this at the public library, and what does this have to do with this, that, or the other? And I'm like, well, obviously it's promoting reading and shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's coming at a time where libraries are under attack, and supporting your library is a political stance now, and it's the right one.
Yes.
The librarians are under attack. The fucking books are under attack. There's Republicans that want to privatize the library into basically bookstores. You know, there's like, this shit is not a neutral thing that he did or just a self-serving thing only. Like, he added some activism to it, you know? So I think, I don't know, I feel like the cynical, like, we need to find a way to shit on everything. People just try to find a way no matter what. But I don't know, it's a good thing to me.
This is a great thing, because the thing about the public library, a lot of people shit on the public library because they feel like they quote unquote don't need it. They don't personally use it. So since they don't personally use it, they don't see the reasoning behind it. But the library does a lot of shit for free. And over the last few decades, the library has improved shit. Now you can rent books online. You can get digital versions of books. Like they have stepped things up. You can go for job interviews. They help people with resumes. And also sometimes for the library, for some children, it is the only place of silence and quiet they're going to get. For a lot of people, they go there for various different reasons. And so they actually do so. They have all types of programs and shit that they do for free all of the time in your local city.
We've done shows at the library ourselves.
Right.
Supporting our local library. I believe in this shit.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing I want to point out too, and this happens all the time with celebrities, and it's always a way to like detract from the celebrity. But if I said it for Kim Kardashian, I have to say it for Jay-Z too. There are people who are already working on the ground on these things. And you know what those people were praying and hoping for? Somebody like a big name like Jay-Z to come in and highlight their work. Right. So when you shit on these celebrities thinking like they ain't shit for this, blah, 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 it's not really about them. Kim Kardashian helped highlight I think it was an Innocent Project or something, but she helped highlight the work they were already doing to get black women out of prison.
Right.
You so mad about Kardashians, you would rather the black women stay in prison so that they don't get no props.
Right, the opposite. Right, and that's the thing that killed me. This is a good thing. Who gives a fuck about that? This is the results they got is a good thing. Their personality, who they are, don't care. They're actually out here doing good things. You can be a terrible ass person and still do good shit.
Are you about the work or are you about the clout? You know what I mean? Because I think people be mad that someone's gonna get some level of like credit for something, but if they help, they should get the credit. They should get some credit. And so I just think, it's a personal agenda to like, I hate Jay-Z people to be like, fuck him. Everything he did is bad. But I thought that was cool. A 93-year-old South Carolina woman is fighting to keep her property after the developer filed a lawsuit in what she believes is an attempt to force her to sell the land that's been in her family since the end of the Civil War. Josephine Wright was approached by the developer Bailey Point Investment Group in May, asking her to sell the property to make way for a 27-acre, 147-unit development on Hilton Head Island called Bailey's Cove. Bailey's Cove. She refused. I wanted to leave a legacy for our family, she told me, the person that she talked to in this article. Construction begun last year with no warning, according to her granddaughter, Sharice Graves. Unbeknownst to us, they just started tearing trees down. Our house was shaking like it was an earthquake. They didn't even have the decency to let us know this was happening. The developer sued after Wright refused them, alleging a shed, satellite dish, and Wright's back porch encroaches on the land where they plan to develop the cove. They claimed those items significantly delayed and hindered development. And they said Graves said they paid over $2,000 to move the shed. The back porch is still standing. In a countersuit, she alleges the Bailey Point Investment Group began a constant barrage of tactics of intimidation, harassment, trespassing to bully the 93-year-old into making the sale. She claims trash has been left on her property, her tires have been slashed, and that a snake was placed on her bedroom window. The developers have questioned if Wright owns the property at all, according to the Island Packet, and attempted to go through other family members to force a sale.
I believe everything. I believe they doing all that bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
And gonna sell her pennies for the dollar. Whatever they were gonna sell you, make them pay more.
So right now you think, or don't sell it.
Well, or don't sell it if you don't want to sell it.
Now
but
here's the thing for me though. Why is this in the Black Capitalist segment and not fucking with Black people segment, Karen?
Yes, why?
Right. Because they started a fundraiser to help with the legal fees, property taxes, and construction of a fence between the new development and her property. Any other funds will go toward a college fund for her grandchildren and great-grandchildren. NBA star Kyrie Irving donated $40,000 to the cause.
Let's go.
And it's not just Kyrie Irving, too. Like, hold on. It was more than him. Let me see if I can pull up exactly everybody that it was, because I was like, wait a minute, niggas is coming together. We love to see it. I want to say Tyler Perry put in something. Maybe if I search her name and okay, auto populating with Tyler Perry. Yeah, I know Tyler Perry was one of them. Trying to see if it'll show me the other people, but it was multiple Black people with money being like, nah, what y'all not fitting to do is this to this Black woman.
Take that woman property.
Yeah.
If she don't want to sell, she shouldn't have to say, but fucking build around her. Do like they did that little bar downtown. That white man said he wasn't selling shit, and honey, they made a square around his shit and kept it pushing.
Right. So yes, and I'm glad that this is the shit I'll be talking about with this is the shit I'll be talking about with the Black capitalism to me, because I know woke people shit on it, and yeah, you're right. All capitalism is bad, and then they try to act like somehow Black capitalism is like just as bad, or we should hate it the same way. And I'm not going to.
I will.
Number one, niggas literally just started getting money. Now we're gonna shut capitalism down,
right?
Okay. But two, Black people actually, even the rich ones, tend to be community minded just because of the shit we came from historically. That's not every last one of them, blah, blah, blah. And it's not every single time. But white people will never see this story and be like, here's my $1 million, ma'am. They not coming for your house. It's up to us. We the only ones who give a fuck. We the only ones that care. So I think when I purposely read these stories, because what they not gonna say about the Marcy Library and the Brooklyn Library is like, that's for the Black folks. They not gonna say that. That's the understood part that we all just read the story and was like, oh yeah, that's Jay-Z promoting the library, a public resource that Black folks use.
All right.
In the Black area of town.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this 93-year-old woman is, you know, it's a nice story, blah, blah, blah for a lot of folks, but it's also it's also facts that a Black person is the only one that gonna give a fuck about her.
Right, and I'm glad they're giving money so she can build a fence and fight them off and shit like that. Because basically they want to steal her shit. Now you want to challenge, is it even yours? Right, because you just want the property. You don't give a fuck.
Yeah, so I know there's somebody I'm leaving out because I feel like it was 3 names, and I'm so sorry because I don't remember the tweet I got this from.
Somebody thinks that Snoop.
Oh, was it Snoop? Okay, I just know it was 3 names that gave me. It was Kyrie, Tyler Perry, and it was somebody else. And I was like, yes, this is what the fuck we do.
Right, because we care.
Like nobody else is going to do this.
They sure ain't.
Magic Johnson makes history as the 4th Black owner of an NFL team.
Let's go.
Yep. They show him dancing, doing some go-go in DC.
Come on through.
Just being Magic Johnson.
Just being Magic Johnson.
I said, go ahead, Irv. We see you. Joe Biden And Kamala Harris launched a $2.2 billion relief fund for discriminated black farmers. Now, this is interesting because we've covered this story before, and it got held up because of white racists.
Yes!
What about us, the people that never got discriminated against, that didn't have our wealth wiped out, that didn't have to deal with the racism? What about our money? Why do only the black people getting money? It's akin to saying, why did we give reparations to the Japanese people that we put in internment camps during World War II? How come the white people didn't get money that weren't in internment camps during World War II? That's really what they say.
Right.
It's only when it's some black people that we start this dumbass argument, right? Mm-hmm. No one asked why the fuck white people didn't get casinos, right? Nobody asked that shit when we paid Jewish people reparations for World War II, which we were supposed to be the saviors and we gave them money. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Anytime we try to redress the harms of racism and slavery in America, here comes some fucking white people with some, hey man, but what about, can we have some of the billions of dollars? You did. It's called the generational wealth you siphoned off of our hard labor, nigga. Right. It's the benefit and the privilege you get of walking around in skin that says not guilty until proven innocent. Or proven guilty. Not guilty until proven guilty. That's what y'all get to do. Y'all get to be innocent. We get to be guilty all the time. But yeah, they officially launched a $2.2 billion relief initiative to support black farmers and others who have faced discrimination within federal government lending programs. It says now accepting its applications for its discrimination financial assistance program. Yeah, I did not even realize. I don't know if that case ever went to the Supreme Court and got, like, I don't know what happened.
Me either.
Or if they just said fuck it.
Wouldn't be surprised if they said fuck it.
They said it was established following the suspension of their initial $4 billion debt relief program for black and socially disadvantaged farmers. The program faced a class action lawsuit from white farmers who claimed that it discriminated against them under the American Rescue Plan. In response, Democrats in Congress revised the law to remove race from the eligibility requirements for the USDA program, while the initial loan assistance under the American Rescue Plan remains subject to ongoing litigation in Texas. In an effort to urge the USDA to move forward with the intended relief, black farmers initiated their own lawsuit. While the new loan assistance program does not explicitly mention race as an eligibility factor, the administration has made it clear that it's intended for farmers who have suffered harm due to USDA practices. The USDA has taken considerable time to select vendor partners and community-based organizations responsible for educating farmers about the program and offering assistance throughout the application process. Notably, several of the selected organizations work closely with black and brown farmers, underscoring the administration's commitment to equity and inclusive decision-making. Fuck Ice Cube. Oh, sorry. That seems like it had nothing to do with that, but it do. But I like, this is the shit I'll be talking about too. If the Republicans gonna make you play the game, play the game. Just win. I don't care about how it looks. I don't need you to go win the trial in the Supreme Court. These racist motherfuckers definitely gonna shoot it down. Okay, so you can't say race? We just won't say it. We'll do it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right. You're right. We this race should not be a factor. If you black, stay in line.
Don't get out of line.
Don't get out of line if you black. But y'all right. We not even looking at race at all. Okay, we just, anybody that got things in a Crown Royal bag, stay in line. It's not about being black. It's not a race thing at all. Okay? Look in your cabinet. You got more than salt and pepper? Stay in line. The money is on the way. All right? If you watch Living Single But Not Friends, hold on. Don't go back to your car yet. It's right. We ain't making it racial. Okay? Just saying. You watch Living Color, Not SNL? Don't just, okay? You go Joker Deuce.
Deuce is wild.
You go Joker Deuce Ace.
Big Joker, little Joker.
Stay. Hold on.
If your phrase is we don't play with kiddies. If you know what that means, you play dominoes.
Okay.
Don't get out of line.
You put an extra S on mall stores. Stay here.
If it's Belks,
Right. If you shop
JC
at
Penney's,
you shop at Kroger's,
come on, Kroger's.
you know the money's on the way now. Don't slip. Don't trip.
Stay in line. Hold on. Whatever number you have, we put like this. Your number is still valid. You still in the queue.
So yeah. But yeah, that's black capitalism for that segment. Let's wrap this thing up with some guess the race. You know, have a little fun. We got a little serious today. You know, we all said Lizzo innocent. She beat the charges. So that's what y'all gonna be writing in on Saturday to tell us we said.
She ain't do that wrong.
She ain't do nothing wrong. Leave Lizzo alone.
Leave Lizzo
She innocent.
alone.
It's time to guess the race. It's time to guess the race. It's time to guess the race. It's time to guess the race.
All right, guess the race time. Time to lose all the woke points we gained today. Throw them in the trash. Woman steals nearly $20K from Wendy's with a ghost employee.
The fuck is a ghost employee? Casper? What the fuck is this?
They hiring ghosts now.
Right?
They're like, you already gonna get shot, so we just gonna skip the middleman, hire ghosts. A Wendy's general manager is accused of stealing nearly $20,000 from her employer by creating a ghost employee who appeared to clock in and out for close to a year. Police, first of all, isn't the underlying point that just went unnoticed is you can clock in and out of Wendy's for a year and you only gonna make $20,000? Message, you know. Wake up, sheeple.
That's why I was a ghost. Shit, they can't even make a living off of it.
Right. I'm just saying.
Message.
And it's amazing how an employee that ain't really that can clock in, and nobody even noticed the ex-employee ain't there.
We broke. Far broke.
We ain't got it.
Police say Linda Johnson, 35, of Monroe, Louisiana, worked as a general manager of the restaurant. When the owners of the franchise called police to report fraud, the owner said Johnson created an employee who never actually worked at the restaurant. She was personally collecting that employee's wages. They said the employee's name was, the ghost employee was named William Bright. Will Bright.
Paul, there's somebody out there with that real name going, now why am I in it?
Right. William Bright made $19,898.15 over 22 pay periods. It said Johnson manually entered 128 shifts for Bright, a task only the general manager could perform. The restaurant's insurance company paid out $15,846 for the incident. Police said 3 other managers at the location reported never working with Bright.
That was like, yeah, why is Bright on the schedule? I've never seen that nigga.
One acknowledged meeting Bright, but said they never shared a shift. Hey, shout out to you trying to help.
So one of her friends faked the phone, basically.
I guess, like, thanks for trying to help, I guess. I don't know. Or either that or just it's so much turnover, they thought they met him.
You know what? I bet you. Like places like that, that's probably why they didn't realize that Bryce wasn't there for a whole fucking year.
They said that the township police said that Bright is a real person known to Johnson, but he never had a job at Wendy's or a legitimate record with the company. So maybe that's what it was. Now, I would feel bad for him if he's a real person and he's not in on it, because that means he's probably getting a tax bill at the end of the year where it's like, why the fuck? What? I ain't worked at no Wendy's.
Right. You get the W-2. You go, what the fuck is Wendy's contacting me for?
They're not investigating him as a co-conspirator.
Which means he had no idea.
She admitted to creating Bright and giving him shifts he never worked. She said his paychecks went directly into her Cash App account. She was using the money to care for her children. She was charged.
You don't know Cash App report to the IRS?
She was charged
over a certain dollar amount?
She was charged July 7th with 1 count of theft by deception. Her whereabouts are currently unknown, and anyone with information is encouraged to contact the department.
Child, you ain't gonna about them fuck them kids then, because you apparently left them once they started investigating you.
Well, they didn't say she left her kids, Karen. They just said her whereabouts are unknown, right?
Oh, her whereabouts are unknown. What about the kids? She left with the kids?
Maybe. They didn't say anything about the kids being abandoned. I don't know
Okay.
why you're so, man, what's going on over there with you?
No, I'm just
Dark.
saying. You said you did it for the kids, and then don't nobody know where you is. Like, what's happening here?
Right, but then you made it sound like she left her kids behind, and I don't know. Anyway, guess the race?
Black. I'm making up my own scenario. I'm sorry, y'all. My bad.
And you think she's black, so that says a lot about your misogynoir. Let's see what the chat room thinks about her race. When the PPP scam won't work, you gotta improvise black.
Oh no!
Black women tech, keep paying her. She's an innovator. Black. This seems like a nigga scam. Black. A white woman would have used Venmo, Cash App, con artist. Black.
Oh no!
These are valid points. The correct answer is black. Yeah. I think it's so interesting because it's definitely also a commentary on how you can't get by probably even as a general manager with a Wendy's check if you need to take care of some kids. Like it's just not enough. You gotta
means she probably wouldn't making that much money.
You gotta have 2 jobs. What they would have expected her is to pick up a $20,000 job somewhere else,
right?
And they still not fitting to pay you. You know.
Mm-hmm. And she probably working 120 hours a fucking week. So when you gonna have time for another job?
Let's go to the next one. Here's a terrible story. A former Beatrice police officer is arrested for putting cameras in a woman's house to protect and serve. Right? That's who's supposed to be watching out for us, y'all.
Put that shit on Pornhub. What the fuck is this?
Who knows? This is the dude that's supposed to be helping us out. We supposed to be reporting to this person. Some crimes happened. This happened in Lincoln, Nebraska.
Was taken into custody earlier this week on charges of unlawful intrusion and stalking. According to a search warrant, he's accused of hiding cameras.
Now let me pause. Chat room, y'all can hear this story because I'm in Firefox.
Can y'all hear this story? I don't know.
We'll give them a second to, it's a bit of a delay, but they should be able to hear it. I just want to make sure
that they can.
I know
hear
you can hear it.
I don't count. Y'all let us know if you can hear it. I know, like I said, yes. Everybody, they say yes.
Cool. Here we go.
Inside of the car and home of a woman. 41-year-old Anthony Chisano was arrested on Monday. According to court documents, the woman first noticed a camera hidden in her car back in March. Later that month, she found 3 more cameras in different spots around her home. She reported it to deputies, saying she didn't know why those cameras were there. The arrest affidavit says they took those cameras and checked the thousands of files on them and saw Chisano in some of the older recordings, appearing to set them up. He is currently out on bail, and his arraignment is set for August 29th in Gage County.
As long as he's out on bail.
They said thousands of files, and he didn't have the audacity to even erase himself. Wait a minute, let me send it up here with my whole face. This is my social security number. Okay, I got it here.
Karen says white. Let's check the chat room, see what they believe. But keep in mind, someone gets sexually assaulted, they got to report it to him first. Think about that. And then when they get hit with a false accusation charge, we'd be like, oh, it caught a lying bitch, right? White is the audacity. This is a white man. Peeping Tom rejected Geek Squad member white. Forget about it, white. 1 hour photo, white. Everyone said white on this one. And I'll give you guys a little behind the scenes. They didn't put his picture in the article or on that news report I just played, which should tell you everything. I wouldn't found this picture. The fucking picture is sideways on the goddamn. That's his police picture. It's sideways. What the fuck?
Ain't to the landscape.
What the fuck is happening? Like, well, boy, man, police do some shit, boy. I tell you one thing, man. When the police fuck up or do a crime, the news know all the ways to be sensitive about hiding your identification and innocent until proven guilty, don't they?
Of course.
Oh boy. What a world we living in, y'all.
What a world.
Evil world. Okay. All right, let's go to the bonus round. Karen is actually 2 for 2.
Yay!
Mm-hmm.
That was why. I ain't racist. How can I be racist about anybody or anything in my life? How can I?
Call them niggas. Just call them niggas.
It's time to guess the
Gold
race.
teeth, gold chain wearing, fried chicken and biscuit eating, monkey pig, baboon, big time, fast running, high jumping, spear chucking, 360-degree basketball.
All right. A woman gored by a bison in Yellowstone National Park gets engaged at the hospital.
What?
Yep. The injuries that she sustained include several spinal fractures, 7, and collapsed lungs. And somebody said, shit, we ain't getting no younger, we might as well do it.
I'm gonna look at you like, if you don't get out my motherfucking face, I can barely breathe.
Oh, I mean, listen, in sickness and health. Okay,
I guess
that's a motherfucker that's
shit.
committed right there.
If I'm willing to stay after watching you get gorged by a bison, the love is real.
Harris, a 47-year-old resident of Phoenix, Arizona, was gored by a bison on July 17th during a trip to the park with her daughter and Harris's boyfriend, Chris Whitehill. In a Facebook post Tuesday, Harris detailed her injuries. I was carried out of the field on a stretcher to an ambulance, then transferred to a helicopter for a life flight to Idaho. Pain meds, CT, MRI, and I sustained 7 spine fractures, bilateral collapsed lungs, and bruising all over. Glory to God, all my vital organs look good. Harris also detailed the moments before the attack that happened near the Lake Lodge. We woke up on our first morning, walked down to the lodge for some coffee, then decided to take a walk through a field to get to Yellowstone Lake. There were about 20 elk roaming around, so we waited for them to clear before walking through the field. About halfway to the water, we noticed 2 bison, one on the path we were walking and the other in the opposite direction. We stopped, looked at the massive beast about 50 yards away on the trail, hidden at first in the shadows of the trees. We watched him drop and roll in the dirt like a dog would. He got up on his feet and started walking them, running towards us. The story took an unexpected happy turn at the hospital, where Whitehill proposed to Harris after saying he was planning to do it during the park visit. Chris had planned a beautiful marriage proposal this week on a natural bridge, but all 3 of us have been in the hospital since yesterday morning, and I won't be able to leave anytime soon. So my love got down on one knee beside my hospital bed last night and formally asked me to be his wife.
Baby, I love you. Beep, beep. Excuse me, sir.
Beep, 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 beep.
Excuse me, sir. Let me check her blood pressure. All right.
Maybe she getting nervous. Like, you can check her heart rate. Be like,
oh, well, yeah. You're going to take it out.
If you ask her to marry you and she get too nervous, it's like, should we even get married? What you so nervous about? She said, without any hesitation, I said yes. She has a GoFundMe. The incident is still being investigated by park officials.
What, you going to investigate the bison? The bison was like, bitch, I'm an animal. That's going to be the answer. The fuck are you talking about here?
Law and Order Bison Special Victim Unit.
The bison's like, bitch, I'm a bison.
Right. CSI Bison gonna show up and shit.
Right.
But yeah, that's being investigated by park officials who say it's mating season for bison, so they can be unpredictable. Get a little horny, next thing you know, bam. Got to run people over. Karen, guess the race.
Everybody white going hiking in the woods. I know black people do that too, but ours no.
Okay.
White.
Karen's going with white. A holy matrimony of mayonnaise white probably tried to kiss it in the mouth white.
Oh
no. Brooklyn Chauvet said can't testify if they're married. I hope he didn't try to kill her by bison. That seems seems like an unreliable method of death. Bison shanking don't stop natural love for some natural whites. Niggas ain't running up on no M bison white. That's some of the whitest shit I ever heard. White, dumb Caucasoids white, mutual of Omaha's white, Omaha's white, matrimony white. She was not pregnant and he was still trying to marry her white. The correct answer is white. So yeah, man, shout out to them getting it together. Love wins.
Hell, it does, dog.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out. I bet you that medical bill is off the chain. Child. You're gonna be in the hospital for months.
Yeah, that's man. Get on that. I hope I bet she wish he proposed early. Get on that good insurance, you know. All right, last thing we gotta talk about sword ratchetness. All right. A Connecticut man is accused of decapitating his landlord with a sword, and he's representing himself in court.
Child, you going to jail.
Somehow it makes sense that he would represent himself in court.
Mm-hmm.
Jerry David Thompson, 45, will represent himself in court when he is tried on one count of murder for killing 64-year-old Victor King.
I'm going white. I think they're white. I hope they white.
This is not against the race. This is sword ratchetness, which is why I played the sword sound effect.
I know.
I don't know the person's race and don't have a picture of them. I'm sorry.
Okay, no problem. But just in case you did, I was guessing.
Well, I'm gonna Google it and see if something come up. Check the images. Oh, well, you're wrong as shit, Karen. This is a nigga.
What?
Not only a nigga, he is a sovereign citizen ass nigga. The Supreme Hotel.
Oh, okay. He of that ilk.
He one of them people that like believe the laws can't apply to him because he got his own country, and it's in the space of his like wherever he was staying. Now, how you gonna be renting and a sovereign citizen? I don't know, but these niggas ain't never made sense.
Oh no!
Yeah. Look at his beard. Like that kind of beard.
What is that?
I would not rent to a man with a beard like that. It's like a goatee that just a single file goatee. I don't even know what you call that. He look like he gonna cut somebody with a sword. I hate to profile a black man, but sometimes Eric Adams is right. Okay. But yeah, Thompson has been held in custody since he was arrested a day after King was found suffering from severe trauma and was pronounced dead at the scene. He has a $3 million bond that he can't pay. I mean, he couldn't pay the rent.
No, he ain't gonna.
He probably gonna try to pay it in $3 million Jerry David Thompson dollars.
If you don't get out of here and get some real American dollars,
he's like, use my currency as a sovereign citizen. Thompson bucks.
United States is like, no, bitch.
Let me write you a Thompson check.
We do not accept your funky ass credit.
Now
no.
You know I got diplomatic immunity. I watched Lethal Weapon 2-3 times, and I have the diplomatic immunity.
And we have the diplomatic immunity that I take your ass right on to the jailhouse.
So evidence will be presented August 17th.
And what evidence you think he gonna have?
I don't know, but if this nigga win, boy, that's gonna be a hell of a day on Twitter.
He is not winning. Lord, the ash is gonna come out the woodworks. That's gonna be their new king.
But yeah, he's gonna represent himself for everybody. And it sounds like an open to shut case.
Oh yeah, he going to jail.
Alrighty then, everyone. That's it for this episode. We gave you a good old fashioned long episode. Lots of bullshit today. Went through a lot of different topics today. So there's all kinds of stuff for y'all to be upset about. You know, we talked about Cardi B throwing that mic, Leprosy breaking out in Florida.
Child.
Everything going on with Lizzo-Gate.
Yeah, Lizzo-Gate.
Ron DeSantis being a cuck. You know. Method Man said he ain't a sex symbol. He dealing with depression.
And people are going,
y'all ain't none of these women fitting to listen to this black man open up his soul about his mental health. They fitting to grab his dick next time they see him in public. It just is what it is, and I feel sorry for him.
I won't, but
they will. Somebody will. It is what it is. It's part of the trade of patriarchy. I'm not saying it's right.
Right.
It's wrong. Actually, I'm saying it is wrong.
Yep.
I'm just saying I know the rules of life. Don't nobody care when a man talks about being sexualized. It's just what it is.
Even though it's real, right? It impacts them also, right?
Bed Bath & Beyond, fake going out of business sale.
Fake sale.
They
Y'all.
back.
Right.
Carlee Russell, they want to pass a law to penalize people. Jay-Z helping. Tyler Perry helping. Kyrie Irving helping. Biden and Harris helping. We love to see it.
Love it.
We got ghost employees getting money. Police officers putting
cashing them checks.
Police officers putting spy cams in women's houses.
Right.
A woman got gored by a bison and then got engaged. And lastly, sword ratchetness. So lots of topics were covered today. Thanks for listening, everybody. We appreciate you. Come to our live show.
Come to our
we
live
promise
show.
We won't abuse you.
We
won't be going to the strip club after.
We sure won't.
You can get all, and we won't stop you. So if you want to go get some Puss tasium,
go ahead.
Get it.
We won't stop you.
If you want to get some, we not going to stop you. Now, we going out with y'all? No, because there's a power imbalance, and we don't know you like that. Now, would I make Justin eat a pussy banana? Sure, why not? That's my boy. He can't sue me. But would I make an employee do it? Of course not. That's dumb. And that's what you're going to get in trouble with. I bet Beyonce don't talk to her dancers. That's my guess. Beyonce be like, don't look at me. What you doing? Stay over there. Sign this NDA for looking at me. Stay away from me. Y'all niggas is trouble.
Right.
I don't hang out with broke people. They don't know about potassium.
Right. Beyonce the opposite. They had an article. I don't know how true it is. They had an article that came out that Beyonce told her dancers, she was like, look, y'all can't be, drugging and shit on the tour.
Yeah.
She was like,
well, maybe Lizzo was trying to be like Beyonce because she yelled at her dancers. I forgot to mention this. One of the reports that she yelled at the dancers because she thought they had been drinking them the night before and was moving all sluggish and shit. And they was like, that's abuse. We said we weren't drinking and she still yelled at us. And I'm like, that sounds like how a coach coaches a basketball team. They're like, what was y'all out fucking last night? Run another 16. It sounded like she was doing that. But it's a lawsuit, so the lawsuit made it sound like, she came
the most
in.
outlandish thing ever.
Yeah. But whatever, man. The point being, we talked about it. All right.
We
everybody?
did. We talked about it. We talked about a lot.
We'll be back probably Saturday for feedback. Until then, I love you.
I love you too.
Mwah. Bye, everybody. Go get some potassium.
Peace.